You are here because life feels fine. But you are done with fine. You know you are made for more. And you've asked, is this it? Too many times now. This isn't just another episode. This is your permission slip to turn fine back into fire. We're Charlotte and Kat, coaches through and through, but more importantly, real women who've been there. We help women come home to themselves and create a life that feels exciting, energizing, and completely their own again. Around here, we get real conversations, real stories, and real transformations from the women in our community who dared to go all in. If you're ready to stop existing, to stop settling for fine, and to start truly living, welcome home. Hello, Sarah.
What a moment.
Oh, honestly, when we were thinking about getting this podcast back out into the world, we were like, we can't wait to get Sarah on.
Absolutely.
Now, Sarah, you came into my world last year, 2024, literally just after having Evan. So he was literally, I think, a few weeks old.
Yeah.
And you landed in my inbox and asked me to come on your podcast.
Absolutely.
And I have to say, you made my day that
Really?
day.
Oh,
Honestly,
that's nice to know.
made my day. It was so well received and at such a beautiful point in time. And actually, it was a beautiful kickstarter to me going into motherhood in a very different way and not kind of going into it and losing all the things that I'd got as well. So it was a really beautiful part of the journey. And I want to really start with this just to kind of paint the picture of exactly who you are. And I drove to Zara's house, didn't I?
Zara's house, yeah.
So obviously didn't know you guys at all.
Nope, nothing at all.
So I drove with little Evan in the car and I sat on the sofa with you guys. And I just remember feeling so at home. And I fed Evan on that podcast, didn't I? We had the most honest, beautiful chats. And I feel like that's just a credit to who you are as a person. You are so warm, so beautiful inside and out. And to have watched your growth over this past year has been incredible. So welcome, Sarah.
Thank you.
Big welcome.
Normally when somebody compliments me, I'm under the table, but I am getting better at people. Somebody else did it live, Coach Nick. I did it live, and she's saying all these things, and you know that inner part of you is going. But I had to breathe and say, yeah, that is me.
Yeah.
So yes, thank you. And it's lovely to be here.
Amazing.
So excited.
Amazing. And also a big shout out to the 4 o'clock club, of course, as well.
Yeah.
Amazing. So first of all, then, we want to ask, who is Sarah? Who is Sarah? Big question.
I love that question. And if you'd asked me 2 years ago who Sarah was, I left a 16-year relationship, which is never an easy decision to do. It's not a decision you just decide. It's based on numerous things. But I had to listen to my gut, which we never learned to do. I was driving here today thinking about leaving and that person that I was, and how hard it is to leave everything that I've known for 16 years. It's really tough. So if you ask me who Sarah was 2 years ago, is a shell, no identity, and that's nothing to do with him. That was just me. I just didn't know who I was. I was mum, obviously we're all mum, but who Sarah Luby was, no idea. I lost my dad at 12, which was a real significant loss in my life, and then I experienced sexual abuse, which became another significant part of my life. So from a very young age, I had been driven by trauma and grief for such a long time, and I had a turning point where I just knew things had to change for me. I had to go inwards. I knew there was so much more for me. I knew that there was a little girl in there who was raring to come out, who wanted to be seen, wanted to be fully present. But it's the hardest thing you'll ever do is choose yourself sometimes. It's not an easy decision. So who Sarah Luby is now, 2 years, the journey's been such an incredible journey of highs, lows, depths of despair, sitting with yourself, not knowing who I am, riddled with anxiety, to today, I can't tell you the feeling of coming home to myself, finding a home that's safe, finding me, knowing that I'm okay to be every version of myself, healing Sarah, fun Sarah, loud Sarah. I can wear what I want, I can be what I want. And it feels just so nice and so content. So yeah, it's been one hell of a journey.
Amazing, amazing. And I love how you described there that there was a tipping point and kind of a turning point of change. And I wonder what, if you'd like to kind of draw a little bit, because I think so many of us find ourselves at that place, at that crossroads. And yeah, what was that,
I think
like?
Becoming a mum is such a pivotal time in a woman's life where I have these babies and I want to be the best version of myself for them as well. Who am I for them? But I had this deep ache, this deep knowing that there was more, and I had to really like lean into that and trust it. It was just there. My relationship was breaking down, and I just had to trust the process, and I had to do it. And to anybody who's got this niggling feeling that there's more for them, you have to go with that. You have to trust that. You have to really go with it and say, yeah, it's just that feeling. I can't explain it, but I just knew there was so much more for me. And that isn't me saying that my life, what I had for 16 years, wasn't enough. It was everything and more. I was growing as a person. I was evolving as a woman. When you become a mum, you're like, actually, who am I? And every day I was asked myself, who is Sarah Luby? And because I didn't have no idea how excited it was to find her, how exciting in the depths of despair and all this, that I could find out who I am beyond the layers. Yeah, love that. Love the layers.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Sarah. Okay. And yeah, just that reflection on who you were a couple of years ago and this most incredible woman that sits in front of us today. And I love that you can now take that compliment, and what beautiful inner peace you have, that safety within. So just really seeing you and celebrating you for that, because it's yourself that's made that happen, which is incredible. And I'd just love to explore a little further what Charlotte touched on. So that moment of change, that decision to go and explore that more. Where did you start? How did you go on that journey of discovery?
What a question. Because sometimes you don't know how. You have no idea. And all I had to do, and I had no other choice in the moments that I made the decision, is trust the process. I left my marital home. Well, we weren't married, but the home, the mortgaged home. I left my BMW. I left all them things, and I went back to basics. And that was my choice again. I got a little council house, and I got a car, and I started with 2 TVs and a table, and I started from scratch. So for me is, I just had to look at myself. I had to sit with myself, understand what I was feeling. What am I feeling today? What is this feeling? And sit with that, sit with the hardness. I went to counselling. That was such a turning point in me. And I think it was just learning who I was, and that meant sitting in the darkness, sitting in the times, unravelling my thoughts, unravelling who I am. And it's a tricky question, isn't it? Because it's hard to pinpoint how I did it, how I started it. I just had a belief, a belief that I knew that little girl and that woman was there, and I was ready to do whatever it took to bring her out, and to say, here is Sarah Luby, fully present beyond whatever's happened to her.
And would you say getting to know yourself better in that moment was quite an important part of that exploration?
Such an important part, because you know, we go through life, don't we, as, you know, little girls, and you're told to be quiet, but that's another, you put these coats on that you're told to be this certain way, and then we've become adults, and who are we beyond all these things? Who am I beyond, you know, what things that happen to me? And it's learning to love myself, learning to become my own best friend, and it's such a turning point of how can we be happy and content if we don't become our own best friend and understand who I am, the good, the bad, the ugly of myself. And that's still an ongoing process. It always will be an ongoing process. I have a little girl who still needs nurturing. I have a 20-year-old girl who's still lost and still needs navigating. But what's the most powerful part is I've become a 39-year-old woman who can now nurture them parts of me. And that's where the moment comes together.
That's beautiful. And I love that positioning of being your own best friend, having your own back, and you can really see it. And obviously we've journeyed with you over the past nearly 12 months, and that's been really, really apparent, the growth you've had and the confidence, everything that's come from that is magical.
And without you guys, without that space, without women supporting women, none of this, I wouldn't be here, because it's putting yourself, again, anybody who's navigating, trying to understand themselves, putting yourself in positions with like-minded women, going to these spaces, feeling vulnerable to share is magic. And that's where the magic lies. And that's what's so powerful about you guys, is you just offer this space, this coaching where women can just be. Just come and they can just be. And yeah, it's incredible.
Thank you. That's the no expectations, no shoulds. Just turn up as our true selves.
Absolutely. And that's what's nice, is it doesn't matter how you turn up. And that's the thing about women, is we are so powerful in ourselves, the way we keep showing up. But sometimes we just don't have to either. It's so okay to not.
I love that. Thank you. I love that. And I think what you've just said there, and a huge part, I think that we've both sat back on your journey and watched you kind of thrive in, is that sometimes we don't see our own light. Right.
I'm honestly, I'm so, this is, and honestly, me in a nice orange dress today.
But we all have such a strong light, and everybody else can see it. And I think you have come into, you know, our spaces and just shone. And I feel like from your energy, you now feel that light. And I think it's been such a beautiful thing to witness. And that's it, isn't it? Like, and for me, it's kind of us seeing ourselves and our own light that actually makes the difference.
Yeah. Believing in yourself, isn't it?
Yeah.
And believing that actually, you know, you can take up space. You can, and we are light, we are love. I think something that's really been life-changing for me, is understanding that I am love, I am energy, and it's so powerful. And when you come into them sessions, and I just know that my story could be an anchor for different for others. So coming onto them spaces, you don't know what somebody else is going through. Your little story, my story could just be that thing that somebody needs to hear.
Yeah.
And I think as humans, we crave that connection. We crave giving back. I enjoy sharing my journey. The simple fact is, I want people to know that they can have everything and more. They are everything and more.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I love that. And it's that belief in ourselves, and that kind of having that space, like you say, to take up space and actually know that it's okay. And sometimes I think we often hear in that space that so many apologies after sharing, or so many like sorries, and like it's crazy, isn't it, how we've kind of been making ourselves smaller in that way, feeling like we can't take up space. But then actually the moment that we get to and we see that that's okay, I feel like we catapult forwards.
I think where you helped me with, the Authentic Girls Club helped me, is the power of your thoughts. So when you become the observer, I think there's such a game changer, isn't it? That's what changed it for me. So that thought will still, this morning, the thoughts got louder that you can't do a podcast. Can't go on a podcast. that dress doesn't look nice in you. Your hair's not the way it should be. Louder, 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 louder. But the work that we do, like, actually, no thank you, goodbye. What's reality? Your work works. It's there every day. It's them small changes that you make, and so it's just the power of your thoughts is bonkers. Absolutely life-changing.
It is, isn't it? And like you say, we all have those thoughts, and it's just knowing what to do with them and saying, actually, we're good. Like you say, I love how you say, what's the reality? Boom.
Absolutely. But the thing is, like, for me, I would run away with that thought. I'd be knee deep in it. So then I would believe that I was them things. I believe that I wasn't worthy to go on the Authentic Girls Club. Why would you have a podcast? And when I did the work and everything else, now I'm like, actually, goodbye. Does that thought serve me? It doesn't. It's so hard. It takes time. It takes a lot of time.
And it's one of your favourite.
It's one of my favourite topics, isn't it? Mindset. It sure is. And it's interesting, isn't it? Those thoughts, no matter where we're at in life, which chapter, what level, as we unlock these levels, they still come. You can be the most confident person in the room, but you could wake up one morning, and if you're stepping into growth and out of comfort, ping, they just appear again, don't they? They do. And like Charlotte's reflected, it's what we do with them. And this has been so beautiful to witness, Sarah, is that choice in choosing to change them. Because if we stick with them and run away with them, like you mentioned, they can block us. They can hold us back. And then we're living in regret. Oh, and I wish I'd have done that. And that's not what we want for ourselves. So it's that choice in that moment to go, okay, well, thank you, I'm the observer. Perhaps in the past you've helped me. You're maybe trying to keep me safe because this is something different. This is out of my comfort zone. It's something new. It's scary. But we know that's where our growth is. And then it's that choice to change them and allow ourselves to move forward with that. So on that, tell us, Sarah, how has your mindset shifted over these past few months?
So for me, and being a part of the Authentic Girls Club, is I feel like your sessions, coaching sessions, give my brain space. That's how I want to explain it, is actually, you know, when you do the life wheel and you section your life out, and it just gives me more clarity, more space, more capacity. The Monday morning 6 a.m. wake up call, which sometimes I struggle to get up for, we won't talk about that. But when I'm there, set the intentions, it's down on paper, you can see it clearly. So for me, for the first time in maybe 39 years, I feel, unless I'm hormonal, in control of what comes in and what goes out. I mean, that's so powerful, because if you'd asked me 12 months ago, you know, when we came to your event, that they were winning. Yeah. They were winning, and the thoughts were winning. And sometimes, you know, I'd go onto the podcast, and in my mind, I wasn't her. My thoughts were like, you're not here. And I let them win. I couldn't step into the power. Whereas now, I am like, this is me. Yeah. And them thoughts that come, they go. So my mindset over the past 12 months has absolutely shifted, like, to the point where, I don't know, to be in control of it for the first time and say, it's just an amazing feeling. So it's just, I just never thought your mind could just be like this, because we're never brought up or taught these things. When we've done all the work with you guys and the, you know, to feel such clarity, such space of, and it gives you, I said this earlier, didn't I? It gives you space to parent better, to show up better when we're just the observer of what's going on up there. Because I tell you what, sometimes it's like 1,000 Google tabs going on.
Can relate. Yeah. So tell us, how has that impacted you as a person and your life as a whole? So that shift in mindset, getting back into the driving seat of those thoughts, those beliefs, those conversations. What's the impact of that been?
It's absolutely huge, because every morning I make change. My brain wants to go into old ways.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely wants me to sit there scrolling on my phone, wants me to just do nothing. And that's the truth. But I'm now in control of what happens and what I'm feeling. So every morning I wake up I say, today will be the highest version of ourselves. And how are we going to plan out the day? And it's them. I didn't realise maybe a year ago that it's not the big changes that you need to do. It's the small changes. And you speak about that, don't you? Is small changes you do every day accumulate to the big ones. So like in the mornings, for example, I don't go on my phone, I'm up, or I'll read my book, or I do things. I'm so much more productive because I'm in control. I'm doing what I want to do as that highest version. Not every day. I mean, some days are hard, some days I'm more hormonal, but I feel like I'm living. I can't explain when you've been broken and when you've had hard times and you sometimes couldn't see a way forward. You couldn't see how life was going to evolve, and to be able to wake up in the morning and know you've got a choice, and know that you're in control of, you're the creator of your life, is a powerful, powerful moment in your journey of understanding that I am in the driving seat. And that comes down to the work that you do. And I can't, you know what, I feel in such a magical place, and I hope that anybody watching can take from this is it's damn hard, but once you've turned that corner and understand yourself and understand your mindset and come along with the Authentic Girls Club, it's everything.
No, go for it.
There was a visual one time that I vividly remember. I saw a video and I sent it to you, didn't I? And I think this just epitomises kind of what you've just said there. And it was a plane taking off.
Yes.
And it went through the clouds, didn't it? And it had some music that really hit you hard, didn't it?
Yeah.
But it was going through, obviously steady rising, and then it just burst out of these clouds into that open sky. And I feel like that I remember seeing it, and
it does.
And I sent it to you because I was like, it was just the epitome of kind of what we're kind of going through at that time. But that's it, isn't it? All those little steps, those little choices, they add up until, boom, you go through the clouds. And we're still human, and we still have those thoughts, and we still think, but I think the
still
control.
wobble, still have times that are really, I'm not here to say it's all shiny. I still have times where it's really hard because healing is not easy. It's up and down. But for today, it feels incredible. And next week it might not, and that's part of the journey as well, isn't it?
It's having that little toolkit. Well, not a little toolkit. It's probably quite a big toolkit.
Mine's
it's a big old
toolkit. It's a solid toolkit.
Yeah, but having that and knowing you've got that, right? It is like you've got it on your back. You're good.
Home.
Yeah, exactly.
Home, and that's what I always talk about is we're not brought up to know that our home is within us. We're always looking external for it. And I've always tried to find safety external my whole life. Whereas now, again, really magical is that if life gets tough, I can come home. I've got my tools. Thanks to you and all the work that I do. I had hypnotherapy not long ago and things like that. I now know that I have my own back.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so passionate about sharing what I share with people, and that you don't need anybody else to know that you're okay, and you've always got it's a great feeling coming home to yourself as who you are beyond the layers.
Yeah. Amazing. And one question I'd love to ask was there any kind of resistance on the journey in terms of, kind of those pullbacks? Because I certainly know there was for me.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day there's resistance. Every day I have to continuously, even though, I've got space and I can understand myself, doesn't mean that they're not trying to get in. Like every day I have to choose they want to come in, like the resistance is there, the resistance to go to be small again, the resistance to not wear that outfit because somebody might say something, the resistance to not say that because you might offend somebody, you know, the resistance on the podcast sometimes, why are you doing that, is always there. And for a long time I listened and I would revert backwards and not know more. There's so much resistance, but that's because I always talk about it. For my whole life, I've been in this box, which is fine, that's kept me safe. So every time I step outside the box, my body doesn't feel safe. That little girl is there. She's like, good grief, get back in that box. The resistance. So until I have to nurture her every day, and I had some hypnotherapy that taught me, that integrated her with me as a cheerleader. So now she cheerleaders me on, but she comes up. The resistance is there. It's what we do with the resistance. Do we listen to it, or do we lean into the uncomfortable parts? I'm forever leaning, always into it, because when it gets uncomfortable, that's where your power lies, straight in.
Amazing. I love that. And I think sometimes with kind of the mind work, mindset, you know, kind of working on ourselves, do you feel that there's a difference? Because I know that sometimes, like, you know, so many people will obviously work on their health and they're like, you know, go to the gym. But was there anything in terms of like kind of positioning, actually working on yourself rather than kind of, you know, kind of just, was there anything there that I know sometimes there's just that almost difference, I think, to actually taking a punt on yourself in a new light, right?
Yeah.
You can work on your body, but actually working on the inner stuff.
The glow up is real when you do the inner work.
Yeah.
Like, it's so, it should be just as important as going to the gym, and it's not spoke about enough about, and like going inwards. And people say to me, oh, you look so well, and that's because I've got rid of so much baggage, so many layers, and it's so powerful, and it should be spoken about more, that doing that work and understanding yourself and getting rid of the negativity and the layers and the hell sometimes feels is, for me, if I look back 2 years ago, like I was just, you can feel that heaviness, and that shows.
It does, yeah.
You look at somebody who's done that inner work, and they've just got a difference about them, got a difference. So I think, you know what, everybody should go inwards.
It's one of those, isn't it? Like when you're this side and you're like, wow, it's quite hard to explain, but you know that resistance and you feel that. And like you say, I look back at, you know, photos and videos of me with the girls, and I'm like, I was so like happy and grateful in those moments. And I look back and I'm like, there was a heaviness, there was something like a fog behind my eyes, like just, I can now see that disconnect in those images. And it is an inner glow. It is that inner light that comes on and just lightens the load, doesn't it?
Because you're not disconnected from yourself anymore.
Yeah.
And once you connect with yourself and connect with who you truly are and your passion and drive, it ignites something that you can't explain. And I always say to people, taking the leap into the unknown is really scary, because we're so conditioned to be in control.
Yeah.
But take the leap, because it's an incredible journey. It's hard, but it's incredible, and you owe it to yourself. And I always say, what would your 90-year-old self say?
Yeah.
Absolutely go for it.
Yes. Yeah. I love that. I love that.
Thank you. Thank you. So it's clear, Sarah, from what you've shared with us, that you are completely empowering yourself through choice.
Yeah.
And what you've touched on is sometimes that choice isn't easy. It can be hard. And I would love to know, why do you continue to choose? Like, why does it matter? Why sometimes take that harder route?
There's a number of answers here, and I'll start with the versions of myself who never felt enough, the versions of myself who were riddled with grief and trauma, the versions of myself who've been broken time and time again. I do this for them. Secondly, I do it for my boys, because without them, they heal my inner child without them even knowing. And thirdly, I didn't know this inner peace existed, and this version of me existed. And for the first time in my life, like, it feels so nice. And if this continues, why would I stop? Why would I stop unraveling when it just keeps getting better? Even on the hardest days. And there's been times last year I hit rock bottom and I didn't want to be here. I still choose to lean in, because I know beyond all this is a woman that is so driven, so passionate. It's just love and wants to change things for other people so much. It feels really emotional to sit here. It feels really emotional to know how far I've come. And it feels incredible and want to thank you so much for opening such a space. Your coaching is everything and more. No, it feels quite a moment.
And thank you too. Thank you for sharing that. And how does that feel? Declaring that,
the younger version of me was like, "How dare you brag?"
That's interesting.
Yeah, that was the reality, because that's what I was brought up to believe. If you say these things, then you must be bragging. The 39-year-old version of me says, "This is Sarah Levy."
And say it even louder.
This is Sarah Levy.
Yes.
And then thoughts will get bigger as I drive home, like, actually, this is me. This is who I am. And I've come to the conclusion that people who don't want to be involved in my life, or they want to say negative things, it's another lesson you learn, is that's a them issue. Because you will attract who's meant to be in your life. I feel so relaxed right now.
This is so great, and we can feel this energy.
I know, like there's just a calm.
Just in a world that for me has always been so dopamine led, and for me to find this feeling, I want to share it with the world to say, yes, you might be going through hell and it might be really difficult, but just keep ploughing through, because sometimes it feels like we're going through cement and quick drying cement. But for the first time, it just feels nice.
Wow.
Amazing. And I'd love to kind of just touch on as well, because we did do the event, didn't we?
Absolutely. That was incredible.
We did the firewalk together, we did the walking on glass, and we did the breaking arrows with our necks.
That was so hot. That was something. I hold my neck now.
That was a day.
Yeah. That was a day. And I'd love to just get, kind of the effects of that, because that was quite a moment of self-trust, right? And
it was more self-trust at its peak.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I can't even tell you, when you got that arrow out and you said, "This is what you've got to do."
I feel like I remember your reaction.
But do you know what? I was dead bullshit first.
Yeah.
I can do that. Yeah. And then, isn't it strange when you step there, my body just froze. My body wouldn't lean into that. My body wouldn't allow that. I had to sit back down, got back up. And then, the power of your mind again, isn't it? The power of your thoughts. I really had to go to a different place to do it. I don't know where I went to lean into that. The firewalk. What did I take from that day? Honestly, is that you can do absolutely anything if you put your mind to it. And everything is your mindset, isn't it? It was such a day of, I think April from Wild and Miles was there. Everybody's just sharing, everybody's just present, everybody's there for the same reasons, everybody's bigging everybody up. Such a safe space. And honestly, when you bring women together, I keep saying it, but it's magic.
Yeah.
It is magic, isn't it? There's so much magic in it.
And I think society has taught us to do the very opposite, right? It's taught us to compete, to compare. And the beautiful thing is that whenever anyone takes a punt on whether it be our space or anybody else's and decide to show their full selves, be their full selves, like I have a really strong belief that every woman out there just wants this. And I'm like, if the more that do it, the bigger the world is going to shift. And I genuinely believe women are rising rapidly right now. And I think there's going to be a women world takeover. I'm just going to put that.
I think so. And
the world.
I think it is coming. And I think there is a huge shake-up going to happen because we're coming together, like, and together, gosh, like supporting each other and also stepping into that vulnerability, stepping into that inner calm, that inner peace, that, you know, I don't have to do everything to prove I'm worthy anymore. Like, yeah.
And also, I think it's important to say, just because doing the inner work and choosing yourself doesn't make you selfish, because I think that's a big thing, isn't it? If you do this work on yourself, you're not a good mum, or you're not this and that, which is what society makes us believe. But doing that work on yourself, doing that inner work, you show up so much better. I show up so much better for my children, for the people around me. So if you have the thought in your head, I can't do that because people are going to judge me, because I'm choose yourself, because you just give so much better. Yeah, I am a much better parent to being this version of myself. It's not always been that way, but you know what, like, to be the mum that they deserve, I do all this work over and over again. So to anybody who just thinks they can't do it because people are going to judge them, or, you know, I'm a mum and I'm just you are also human, and it's okay to be you and mum, because I think that's a big thing, isn't it?
It is
a big thing.
That for me was massive on my journey. And I think what was my kind of turning point was I knew that I had that same fire inside, that knew that I was made for so much more. I was getting frustrated because I wasn't doing anything with it. Dale took the brunt of it initially. And then I started to notice that my patient lacked with the girls. And that was when I was like, I've got to change here. Yeah. And I was taking that frustration out on them. So that meant that I do have to put myself first, because if I do that, I'm going to regain that patience, regain that fire, regain that spark. And then I can be, like you say, that better mum.
So much magic in it. And it's educating people about that as well, isn't it? Yeah. That's what we try to do on the 4 o'clock club, is if you fill your, I know people don't get a lot of time, but if you can fill your own cup up and give from a full cup. Absolutely.
That's a great one you've just touched on, time. Do you think it takes a lot of time?
Right, so I have to be really like, because I know there's like single parents and it can be really full on, so I have to just try and like be considerate that everybody's, but that 6 a.m, you know, it's them small choices, isn't it? So it's like getting up half an hour early for the children. I'm very lucky. I get the boys go to the dad, not that lucky they go to the dads, but they go to the dads at weekends, so I have that time. I do long shifts, so I have a lot of time in the week. So I feel very lucky that I get that time to do that. It's what you choose, isn't it? It's like, I'm a bit torn, because I do know some people who are single parents don't get a minute. I'm in it. So, but it doesn't take a lot of time. It could be 30 minutes journaling. It could get up an hour earlier. And the argument is, if you want to, then you'll do it. I don't know. It's tricky.
It is an interesting one. And I only say that because time held me back for far too long. And for me, and I'm not saying this is everyone, but for me, that lack of time, and we had a lady in one of the retreats actually, didn't we? And this was such a huge aha moment for her, was actually that lack of time came from, it was fear of change,
absolutely,
and fear of doing something different. And I think our kind of positioning and how we kind of obviously kind of work with the Authentic Girls Club is that it's our belief it doesn't have to take a load of time. And actually it's in those little choices, those little moves, those little, I'm first, what does that look like? How can I, you know, make one better choice today?
Yeah, it is the small things, isn't it? And it is the small changes. But I can also feel it for the parents who literally don't get a minute and they just think, what the hell am I doing? But it is, again, just taking that time into it, I suppose. And
On the topic of time, would you say, or what are your thoughts, Sarah, on when you do embark on this, doing this work, whether it's 5 minutes a day, 20 minutes, however it looks for the individual, do you then reclaim time through energy, thought processes, because things are shifting and things are a little different?
Yeah, you've got clarity, you've got space, you've got, there's just so much about it, isn't there? That you do that work, it's like, for me, is resetting. So I do that work and I reset into, there's a higher version of myself, or the more organised version. So then I can give better. I'm more organised. I've got space. So absolutely, it's like, it's a game changer.
So maybe in the early days, it's that initial investment in time and that trust that in doing that, the energy that's reclaimed.
It's about, I suppose, so it's about, the time might be difficult to get, but what it gives you after is something that you'll need, if that makes sense. So like getting up an half an hour earlier to do the work or do the wake up call, just do it and see the difference in you, how you show up throughout the day. It's just mind blowing, especially in the mornings, how you choose to spend your mornings. You know, if it's 30 minutes journaling, having a cup of tea on your own before the children wake up. I listen to a lot of Joe Dispenza, 20 minutes in the morning, I'm reset. It's just, I think people struggle with taking that leap into the
putting themselves first.
Honestly, there's just, it's trying to get people to understand, just taking that time for you, just.
What made you decide to put yourself first?
In a world that I'd never had, I never put myself first. I didn't know that I deserved to be first. Again, you become a mum. I had these babies that I was their role model. What did I want to role model to them? And once you get the bug exposed, once you start doing that work and you can see the difference in how you feel and how you show up, it's a little bit addictive. Even in the hard times, you're like, well, actually, I know everything that comes to me, every lesson, every hard time is what I need to do to be where I want to be. If I get triggered, as hard as it is, I know it's what I need to do. And when you start changing your perspective of things that come to you, is actually, what is this for, rather than, oh, here we go again. Like, I see it as, right, what is my lesson in this? You know, where is this taking me? In the belief that it's taken me where I need to be.
And the simplicity of that is just a shift in perspective. We can make it as big or as little. We can make it as big or as little as we like, can't we?
It's as simple as that.
And that's the empowered through choice again, isn't it?
And you know, when I say it out loud, it is, because if you'd asked me a year ago if something triggered me, it would have been hell on earth, because I just didn't know what to do, and why is it here, and what are you doing, why is this happening? Whereas now I'm like, if something bothers me, I ask myself what it is, I journal it, I welcome it, I lean into it, because I know it's another part of me that needs healing. And it's really powerful, but we're so taught to run away, to push everything down. I mean, how much stuff can you keep pushing down?
You feel it then, don't you? Physically and
you feel it.
Mentally, it becomes that weight, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's so heavy, and I just wish I could just tell everybody, just Just do it.
And you are.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
are.
yeah.
You are.
Actually,
And you
I am,
are.
yeah. Forgot that
And
part.
one thing I love that you just said as well, that you get the bug. Because sometimes you think going into doing the inner work, oh, it's heavy, it's deep, it's, oh, have I really got to do that? But actually, there's a shift there and go, I get to do
With
that.
perspective again, isn't it? It's
And
your
you come home to yourself and you get the bug, and then all of a sudden you're like, can I believe like this is really a thing? And I know we spoke about like some sort of like secret club that you think, why is this not taught in school? Like how to, it's that emotional intelligence, isn't it? And the mindset, and we can make it as complicated or as simple as we like, that we just shared. And it does become addictive in a very healthy way.
Very
May I
healthy.
add, a very healthy way.
That's a good addiction.
A good addiction for sure.
Yeah.
So I'd love to ask now, Sarah, then, what's your next chapter looking like? What's coming up for you?
So the 4 o'clock club is doing absolutely amazing. It's become a platform to for women, for anybody really, to know that it's different for themselves. So we have got a retreat coming up on the 22nd of August. That's a yoga retreat. I want to do a big retreat next year with the 4 o'clock club, a weekend retreat. And do you know what? I just know that it's all evolving around me, and I'm just living in such a wonderful time, and that I'm going to meet somebody and it's going to be amazing, and my boys are happy and healthy, and I can't, it's hard to put into words. I'm not chasing anything anymore. I don't feel like I need to. I'm just existing as me, and I've got my podcast, and I've got my boys, and I've got everything, and it's all evolving how it should be. I've got no plan. I just feel happy, and to me, beyond any materialistic things, I have craved this feeling for 39 years. I've craved inner peace. So anything that else comes is just amazing. So yeah.
That energy. Wow. That's the magnetism, that is just the epitome of everything's coming. And it will, but you're taking the action as well.
Yeah, also taking the action. Obviously, I don't sit at home and just but I think there's something powerful in just letting go a little bit and existing for today, and how lucky we are to have today. And to anybody listening, I just hope my journey inspires different. If it's scary, it's meant to be, but you've got to lean into it. You've got to take that leap, because there's a world waiting for you. And I know, so my big thing is that in the manifesting, I know I will travel with the boys. I want to take them to see the world. That's my big thing, is I want to travel. So
amazing. Oh, I feel like you say it, I can feel it. Feel it.
I'm already there in a bikini.
Oh, that was going to be kind of my closing question really was, anyone listening, what is kind of one, or even when you think of your younger self, what's one piece of advice that you would like to pass on?
Never ever stop believing in yourself in a world that's perhaps told you never to believe in yourself. And so many times I could have given up. There's so many times that it was just like, you know what, I could have stayed. I could have just existed. And to anybody who feels like they're just existing, please don't just exist. And I want you to ask yourself, what would your 90-year-old self say? Because I think it's such a powerful question.
Yes. Love that. Amazing. Oh, Sarah, thank you so much. What a story. So many incredible insights, just your journey, everything, your energy. Oh my goodness. It's everything and more. And obviously, to have witnessed and been part of your journey we are so grateful to have been there and to continue to be there, and to just watch obviously the 4 o'clock club evolve, watch Sarah Luby evolve, watch that travel unfold, like all of it. But a huge thank you for coming on. We appreciate you so much, don't we, Kat?
As well as I appreciate you two as well. Like, just keep doing what you're doing. I think this will be able to show the realities of what the work that you do, and I'm forever thankful for you, and maybe you could just come live with me full time.
I have said for a while, guys, we should all live together.
Absolutely.
Yes, we want a village, don't we?
Absolutely. You heard it here.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. If this conversation lit something up inside of you, that's no accident. It's the spark of your next chapter, and that chapter starts now. We want to know, where are you at right now, and where do you want to be? Come and tell us. DM us on Instagram at The Authentic Girls Club today, and let's talk about it, because when you say it out loud, you literally bring it to life. This is your moment. Don't wait for the perfect timing. Step in, be bold, and let's make it happen together.